Holla holla, Claudina9 here. In today's highly anticipated video, I'll be going over 10 doll lines from your childhood you may have forgotten existed. From the time 1980s gem dolls almost killed Barbie to the 2000s Novi Stars. What's the drama between these alien dolls and the Monster High fandom? We're covering 10 notable doll lines from different eras to trigger some nostalgia. You don't want to miss out on the unfortunate events and secret scandals that led to these dolls' demise, so keep on watching. I've gathered some of the best deals for the dolls we'll be discussing in today's video using my Amazon affiliates, which you can use to purchase them in the links below. Before we get started, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, turn on notifications, and subscribe so you never miss the tea on the toys you love. Now, let's dive in. Ranking at number 10, My Scene. Okay, come on now. Probably not forgotten, but I know My Scene wasn't a global phenomenon like Barbie, Bratz, or Monster High, so let's discuss. My Scene is a line of fashion dolls created by Mattel in 2002 as a rival to Bratz. Much like the Bratz franchise, My Scene is an ethnically diverse girl group of dolls which initially consisted of 3 girls, Barbie, Chelsea, and Madison. Designed by Lily Martinez, who also worked on the early development for Monster High, My Scene went on to produce a variety of movies, merchandise, and licensing such as the Lindsay Lohan My Scene doll as part of the My Scene Goes Hollywood movie, along with a collaboration with Skechers, Adidas Clothing, Claire's, and an episode on Project Runway in which the challenge was to design an outfit for a My Scene doll. Fun fact, Madison, who is named after Madison Avenue in New York, was renamed Wesley for European countries for reasons I couldn't find. When discussing My Scene, many Y2K babies think of the My Scene website, which was a part of everythinggirl.com. The website featured iconic games from fashion designer to shopping spree. The My Scene website included character bios and blogs, as well as webisodes giving a further look into the world of My Scene. Did you ever play on the My Scene website? In 2006, Mattel filed a lawsuit against Bratz, alleging the designer for Bratz came up with the idea when he was employed by Mattel. So MGA Entertainment, the makers of Bratz, countersued, saying Mattel used their designs for My Scene. Mattel initially won the lawsuit, but the ruling was overturned in a federal court in favor of MGA. You can learn more about the lengthy legal battle in one of my previous videos, which I've left the link to below. Fun fact, did you know in the Bratz animated series, Berdine Maxwell, which is very obviously a pun on Barbara Millicent, aka Barbie, owns a magazine company called Your Thing. Get it? Your Thing is a parody of My Scene. Wow, the beef doesn't get any more obvious than that. Like every notable doll line, My Scene was under scrutiny when they rebooted in 2006 to have a more sultry look. Consider this a reverse Monster High reboot. They went from a cartoon-like face to something more mature. Parents complained that the line My Bling Bling, referred to by the doll community as the Bling Face, is too racy and sexy for kids. Mattel never reverted back to their old style, thankfully, and continued to produce My Scene with these high glam faces. Along with these rebranded faces, Mattel was under fire after releasing the My Scene Growing Up Glam line, in which dolls essentially experience puberty. The gimmick is a lever on the doll's back, which you could turn to make her taller and her chest grow in size. The character Barbie was later discontinued from the line and replaced with another blonde doll named Kennedy in the Fab Faces collection. While many doll fans recognize My Scene as Mattel's way of copying Bratz, the My Scene dolls sell for a pretty penny on eBay, some selling for well over $100. Did you know My Scene only ever produced one deeper complexion black doll? Jammin' and Jamaica J from 2004 is the deepest complexion My Scene. She was only ever included in a 2-pack with a bicycle, with a box description that reads, "On holiday, remember, everything goes better with boys." After this release, Jay was never seen again. While sales of the dolls halted around 2010, My Scene continued to sell outside of the United States internationally until the line was officially discontinued in 2014, when Mattel closed down the My Scene website. Would you like a return of the My Scene franchise? Mattel silently filed a trademark for the line in 2019, possibly to reboot the dolls or just to prevent anyone else from trademarking it. Only time will tell. Number 9. Novi Stars. The only doll line to be out of this world, literally. Novi Stars, which was released in 2012 by MGA, the creators of Bratz and LOL Surprise, franchise made their stellar appearance as a response to Monster High. Beginning with 5 different dolls, each character's name was a play on words, similar to the tongue-in-cheek puns by Monster High. Universe had clear legs with sparkle inside that you could shake like a snow globe. Ari Roma had scented hair that smelled like lavender. Ali Electric included a jetpack that made her body light up. Metallic was a robot who could really talk when you press the button on her ear. And Nightlight, who was included with a space pod that appeared as though she was floating in a zero-gravity chamber. The line ended in 2014, but within their 2-year existence, Novi Stars released an eclectic group of 20 peculiar and remarkable dolls that are undeniably fun to look at, and a music video in which we got a live-action look at the Novi Stars' main characters. While most doll lines at the time had painted eyes and several points of articulation, Novi Stars looked more like figures, with large detailed inset acrylic eyes and long glitter-coated eyelashes. They had detachable arms but only 4 points of articulation. Only 16 of the 20 characters released made it to the US. Characters Doe Deer, Justina Hour, Carmela Sweet, and Frostina Sprinkles were only found in Europe. Like many of MGA's older lines, prototypes of the Novi Stars' later releases leaked, and as courtesy of My Dolls Are My Models on Flickr, who created comparison collages, we can see subtle changes were made to almost every doll. Tilly Vision and Robotic have what I believe to be the most drastic change, as the dolls were initially going to be much taller than their final release, and feature articulated bodies to pose. However, even in their final production form, Tilly Vision and Robotic are slightly taller than any other Novi Stars doll. Would you have paid higher price points for the articulated bodies? Designer Yi Lin Chang shared photos of their sketches for an unreleased Novi Stars red carpet collection. In addition to these sketches, other prototype designs were leaked of Ari Roma, Ali Electric, and Metallic. Also unreleased leaks of the CGI designs by Varner Studios, who, funny enough, also worked on Live dolls, for possible new characters which included a mummy, a dragon, and a mermaid. CGI graphics for the Novi Stars pets also leaked, odd creatures that resembled diamonds and an octopus. You can check out other unreleased dolls and prototypes in some of my other videos. Link to check those out in the description below for later. Despite doing little damage to Monster High sales, Novi Stars still impacted Mattel. Garrett Sander, the creator of Monster High, revealed on his Instagram story that Mattel had originally planned to create Cosmic High as a spin-off. The concept was canceled due to Novi Stars' release, and they created Ever After High instead. In 2013, Novi Stars introduced a line of blind bag toys called Secret Pets. While there were many other blind bag type toys at the time, the Easter egg toy craze didn't explode until Shopkins in 2014, meaning Novi Stars was somewhat ahead of this trend. And despite being early on in the trend, the Secret Pets didn't seem to sell very well, and the line was discontinued the following year. While Novi Stars didn't make much of an impact or create a lasting legacy in the way Bratz, Barbie, or Monster High had, it didn't stop knockoffs from being created in their likeness. Several different types of Novi Star knockoffs were created and sold at stores like Family Dollar and Dollar General back in 2013. Have you ever purchased a knockoff doll? Let us know below. Despite being a competitor to Monster High, Novi Stars was relatively well received by Monster High fans. But when it came to decide which doll to buy at the store, fans chose Monster High, and Novi Stars beamed back up into space. Number 8. Gem. She's truly outrageous, and during the 1980s MTV craze, Gem was born. Hasbro, the makers of G.I. Joe, came up with a line of fashion dolls to appeal to girls who loved pink but also wanted to be an edgy MTV superstar. The 12.5-inch dolls with big hair, rockin' clothes, and glitter glam rock makeup was Barbie's fiercest competitor before Bratz, and like their successful G.I. Joe franchise, Hasbro produced an animated TV show to promote the doll line. In the iconic animated series, Gem is the secret rock star alias of Jerrica Benton, who inherits a music label from her father after his passing. But she's challenged by the dubious Eric Raymond and his girl group, the Misfits, who want to own the music label for themselves. Jerrica is able to disguise herself as Gem through a supercomputer, Synergy, by using a high-tech hologram projector that's disguised as earrings. At the time, Gem and the Holograms was the #1 cartoon in the United States, and Gem became the 10th most popular toy line in 1986, which was the highest any fashion doll had reached since Barbie was introduced in the 1950s, and Mattel didn't like the competition. I'll explain in just a bit. Gem dolls came with a cassette tape featuring 2 songs and corresponding musical instruments. They were slightly larger than Barbie dolls, standing at 12.5 inches, and retailed at only $10 to $15. The story about why Gem dolls were made varies depending on who you ask. 4 months after the cartoon was released, Hasbro revealed the first line of gem dolls at New York Toy Fair in 1986, but Mattel beat Hasbro by giving Barbie an MTV Rockstar makeover in late 1985. One story claims Mattel heard about the gem prototypes and rushed to create Barbie and the Rockers. Another says that Gem was originally an all-male band, but they changed to all women when Hasbro found out Mattel was making Barbie a rock star. Regardless of which is true, the two doll lines went head-to-head, paralleling that of Gem and the Misfits. At this point, Barbie still hadn't created an animated series the way that Gem had. According to Collectors Weekly, Stephen A. Schwartz, Senior Vice President for Marketing for Hasbro, told the LA Times, "We are forcing Mattel to create an identity for Barbie. Gem really has a social conscience. Her world is not about shopping and dating. She was a working girl, a woman of the 80s. She's an executive, she makes decisions, she has a lot of pressure." This changed in 1987 when Barbie and the Rockers released a 2-part series. Barbie and the Rockers never became a full show the way Gem did, but still, sales declined for Gem in 1987 when kids chose Barbie over her. Gem dolls were discounted to $7 and the line was discontinued later that year. New episodes for the cartoon continue to air until spring of 1988. Gem still lives on as Hasbro has licensed Integrity Toys, a company that creates high-quality, adult-targeted collector fashion dolls, began producing Gem dolls in 2012. These collector dolls retail at just a little over $100 and now sell for $500 plus on sites like eBay. Integrity actually produced new Gem dolls for 2020 to celebrate the 35th anniversary of the rock star we know and love. Whose side are you on? Gem and the Holograms or Barbie and the Rockers? If you're an 80s baby, which dolls did you collect? Let us know below. Personally, we think the competitiveness was truly outrageous. Number 7. Disney VIP. If you didn't pay $200 for Bella Thorne's OnlyFans, maybe you'll consider $200 on a Bella Thorne doll. Disney VIP dolls were made by Mattel in 2011, and the celebrity dolls were first revealed in a brochure inside DVDs for Hannah Montana Forever and Sharpay's Fabulous Adventure. Initially, there was meant to be 6 dolls: Hannah Montana, Alex Russo, Sharpay Evans, Cece Jones, Rocky Blue, and Sunny Monroe. Sunny's doll was canceled prior to its release when Demi Lovato quit the series Sunny with a Chance following her recovery for mental health-related reasons. A second wave was released in 2012 featuring Alex Russo, Cece Jones, and Rocky Blue in new clothes, and a third wave was released which featured China Parks from Ant Farm and Teddy Duncan from Good Luck Charlie. Unlike other celebrity dolls like Hannah Montana's line of dolls or Wizards of Waverly Place dolls, Disney VIP created a unique version of the celebrity doll by mixing an animated character-type style and realistic features each celebrity had. The doll line included a personalized card with secret codes that could be used on the Disney VIP website to unlock exclusive content, and in addition included rooted eyelashes, 10 points of articulation with removable arms, a purse, a collectible card, a comb, and a doll stand. There were also fashion packs released for the first wave of Disney VIP dolls that matched some of the wardrobe worn on their respective shows. But did you know stock images revealed there was going to be a fashion pack for Sharpay Evans? This fashion pack never made it to stores, and it's unclear as to why. Additionally, leaked photos reveal a Sharpay Evans doll in an alternative dress with different accessories than her first doll. Designer Jenny Chung, who also worked on Ever After High, shared beautiful sketches she created for the Shake It Up, Rocky Blue, and Cece Jones dolls. This prototype of Cece's doll shows her with a real metal chain necklace, a different set of boots, as well as an entirely different purse. What do you think of the prototype versus the final release? Pretty close to the original concept. After its third wave, the doll line was discontinued in fall of 2012, likely due to a lack of sales and the beginning of the falling out between Disney and Mattel. However, the dolls sell for a lot on eBay. Number 6. Mystics. Released at Toys R Us in summer of fall 2012, the Mystics line of dolls by Play Hut consisted of 4 girls with 2 heads. Well, 1 head, 2 faces. Could you name a few two-faced people in your life right now? Each Mystics vampire doll included 2 outfits, 2 wigs, and a head that can spin from cute to creepy. The line was referred to as a knockoff of Monster High and appeared to use reworked 2010 Bratz artwork. The line was subject to harsh criticism. One fan wrote, "Trying extra hard to be Monster High. What a joke." Another says, "Worst series of dolls ever, XD." The Mystics vampire music video shared on YouTube has 1.1 thousand dislikes, which is more dislikes than likes. While the proportions bear a striking resemblance to the spindly bodies of Monster High, Mystic's bodies and heads were unique sculpt that had details not even Monster High offered at the time, like real metal chains and buttons. Mystic's vampires went on to have a spin-off line, Mystic's Zombies, which launched in fall 2013. These dolls had a Rococo theme, but much like their predecessors, the dolls weren't known to be very popular and had trouble competing with the other doll lines like Monster High and Barbie. Fun fact, Mystics is actually a spin-off line of Playhut's 2005 doll line Mysticats, which was a doll line of girls who are half girl, half cat. Mysticats had anamorph-like faces, and like the Mystics vampire artwork had a similar brand aesthetic to Bratz, arguably, Mystics dolls came 2 years before the development of Monster High, and 5 years before Monster High was actually released. Did you ever own a Mystics doll? You can find them relatively cheap online today. Number 5. Lamely, the Karen fashion doll. Developed by Lickle Lamb in 2014, Lamely was created to be an alternative to Barbie, being the first quote-unquote average fashion doll. Her slogan is "Real is beautiful," and Lamely is advertised as fit and strong, wearing minimal makeup, toned-down clothes, and above all, Lamb created her using proportions of the average 19-year-old woman as indicated by Centers for Disease Control. The name Lamely was formed by combining the creator's last name, Lamb, and family. While the franchise tried producing various other dolls in other skin tones and hair types, Barbie produced the Curvy Barbie in 2015 as a response, and new Lamely products haven't been produced since 2019. However, Lamely took bold moves, from acne stickers you could use on your doll to period packs to normalize the menstrual cycle. Lamely undeniably took a cutting-edge swing by pushing activism and education through a fashion doll. In her short-lived existence, Lamely undeniably set a pressure cooker under Mattel to rethink the way Barbie is branded. Curvy Barbie was released following the global media coverage of Lamely. Coincidence? Maybe, maybe not. Additionally, in 2016, Lamely released a 1/6 scale wheelchair as a response to the fact Barbie hadn't created a Barbie with a wheelchair since Becky in 1998. 5% of proceeds for Lamely's wheelchair went to Aida Wheelchair Dance and Big Dream Children Foundation. 3 years later, Barbie began reproducing a Barbie in a wheelchair, possibly as a response to Lamely. While sales for Lamely are nowhere near the $1 billion in revenue Barbie makes, I think, while I personally am not a big fan of Lamely's brand, aesthetic, or vilifying of Barbie, I appreciate the way Lamely influenced the fashion doll market. Are you a fan of Lamely's toned-down look? Number 4. Liv dolls. While Liv didn't live very long, the franchise produced an extensive collection of dolls and playsets that were unique for its time. Debuting in 2009, the Spin Master-owned doll line released 60 dolls, 17 playsets, 30 fashion packs, and over 50 different wigs to collect within their 3 years of existence. Like many doll lines, Liv began with 4 core girls: Sophie, Alexis, Daniela, and Katie, each character with an individual style and personality. Liv was Spin Master's strongest launch into girls' products in the company's history, seeing as the manufacturer was largely known for producing toys aimed at boys. The dolls notably had an impressive 14 points of articulation, 2 wrists, 2 elbows, 2 shoulders, 1 head, 1 waist, 2 legs, 2 knees, and 2 ankles. And if that wasn't enough, it's advertised in the box that the dolls could do over 150 poses. Other unique features about Liv were their glass-like inset eyes and Kanekalon wigs. The idea came about when one of the creators recalled cutting their Barbie's hair and never being able to fix it. The only way to fix a doll with a bad haircut is a long, painstaking process called re-rooting. So Liv made this easier by just selling wigs. While the doll line had fun collections like Target exclusives Live in Wonderland featuring highly detailed Alice in Wonderland costumes and Twist and Dance that had rotating hips to look like they're dancing, Liv had a relatively low-key existence in regards to press, with little to no scandals about the dolls. However, interestingly, the line was created under time-sensitive circumstances, and Spin Master rushed production to make sure they were released while Barbie was still busy fighting Bratz. Spin Master originally planned to launch Liv in late 2010, but then Mattel won its lawsuit against Bratz, and while Bratz sales quickly collapsed during During this time, Spin Master execs saw this as the perfect opportunity to strike and move the launch date up a full year. In an interview with Fast Company, Nicole Perez, a former Mattel veteran who moved to Spin Master, says, "Usually it takes at least 18 months to develop a line like this, if not a couple years." She traveled to the Toronto headquarters in January 2009 to discuss whether a launch later that year was even possible. "I'll never forget, we said, we really don't think there's enough time. You guys are crazy." And they said, "We're doing it." It was an intense moment of brace yourself. Tracy Thurman, who was design direction, said, "We were designing on the fly, literally going from a sketch to handing it over to the factory to sew it up and make it. I flew to Hong Kong 8 times to oversee production, and the first dolls that came off the line were all cross-eyed. I called up Nicole like, we might not be able to do this." Well, they did it, and in 2009, Liv launched with an early release, but MGA caught on quickly and created a similar franchise to compete. More on that drama later. However, it seems Liv began early concept in 2006. Toy designer Michelle shared in her portfolio early design sketches for Liv and Liv fashion packs, which she states she worked on from 2006 all the way through 2009. One of the designers for the Liv brand, Jamie Trapt, shared on her portfolio some prototypes and unreleased Liv designs, like these prototypes for the winter formal dance line, exclusive to Target. The final production dolls changed slightly, with Alexis's high-low dress becoming shorter. Sophie's capelet became crop jacket. Additionally, sketches for an unreleased Liv Halloween line featured Hayden as a tiger, Daniela as a vampire, and Alexis as Marie Antoinette. The line never came to fruition. Something that was popular during the 2010 era of dolls was creating an immersive website. This is likely due to the popularity of Webkins, a line of stuffed animals that include a code to explore online world virtual games. Liv dolls included web codes that could unlock special features on livworld.com, like exclusive webisodes or diary entries telling you more about each character. One of my favorite parts of Liv's franchise were the playsets they released. Jamie Trecht also worked on these playsets, which included a canoe, a beach lounge, and a windsurfing board. In 2011, McDonald's collaborated with Spin Master to create Liv as a Happy Meal toy. Who remembers these mini styling heads? Alas, Liv dolls weren't a match for the stiff competition of dolls at the time, and as a product of that, Liv silently discontinued by 2012. Number 3. Pinkie Cooper. Pinkie Cooper and the Jet Set Pets was a line of humanoid dolls produced by The Bridge Direct in 2013 and designed by Carter Bryant, the creator of Bratz. The idea for Pinkie Cooper began in 2009 and was modeled after the English Toy Spaniel dog breed, more specifically Carter Bryant's sister's Toy Spaniel, and featured fairly high-quality fashion-forward posh dolls that had removable wigs resembling ears. A series of 7 webisodes were produced to market the series, but with such stiff competition, Pinkie Cooper didn't survive and was put to sleep after only 1 year of production. With humanoid dolls in mind, I want to give a special shout out to Wild Child, a line of dolls that was never actually released. Should we explore Wild Child some more in another video? Let me know below. Number 2. Moxie Girl / Moxie Teens, the line that had kids confused as to why Bratz had been renamed Moxies. Well, Moxie Girls and its sister brand Moxie Teens aren't actually Bratz at all, though they sometimes shared names, like both these characters being named Sasha and being a line of 4 core girls also by MGA. I digress. Moxie Girls was a line of fashion dolls introduced in 2009 during the Bratz hiatus. The 4 original 10.6-inch fashion dolls are named Lexa, Bria, Avery, and Sophina. Similarly to Bratz, they have distinct pop-on and pop-off feet, but unlike Bratz, Moxie Girls had softer eyes and appeared more youthful in their designs. One of the most notable Moxie collections was the Moxie Artitude dolls, in which they included washable markers you could use to color your doll's outfits with the slogan, "Be true, be you." I used to sing the commercials jingle all the time. Hey Moxie Girls, yeah, color my world, expressing everything with Moxie Artitude. In 2010, MGA released Moxie Teens, which are 14-inch dolls made to compete with Spin Master's Liv dolls. The 4 main characters from this line are Mealraz, Arizona, Baijo, and Tri-Stain, and are portrayed as college girls. Unlike Liv though, Moxie Teens stand at about 14 inches tall, making them significantly larger. Similarly to Liv, Moxie Teens have 14 posable joints, inset acrylic eyes with rooted eyelashes, plus signature interchangeable wigs. Notably, Moxie Teens wigs are made of higher quality quality synthetic material known as saran. Moxie Teen's wigs fit monster high, and the afro wig was popularly used for Claudine Wolfe to match the Scream uniform fashion pack. Moxie Teen's dolls did fairly well during their launch and were promoted by popular dress-up website Stardoll. But despite a fairly successful beginning, sales began to decline in 2011. MGA re-released the first edition dolls in 2013 at Toys R Us, and the franchise was officially discontinued by 2014. Moxie Girls are also said to have been discontinued in 2014, but some of the line's dolls could still be found in Target stores and TJ Maxx until 2016 when the line was officially shelved. Despite abysmal retail sales, Moxie Teen's dolls are popular among collectors and have been found reselling for upwards of $200 on eBay and Amazon. Number 1. La-Di-Da. La-Di-Da dolls were created by Spin Master and released in 2012, quickly ceased production by 2014 after only 2 years of its release. Am I the only one recognizing a pattern here? 2014 was the dollpocalypse. The doll line was actually a replacement for Live dolls. Yep, you heard me right. Spin Master replaced Live dolls with La-Di-Da, and the line first consisted of 5 girls: Dee, Tylee, Cian, Sloan, and Levon, with each character designed in unique individual style and themes surrounding food or travel. They stand at about 10 inches tall and with 7 points of articulation in similar proportions to that of Pulip. The doll line received some negative remarks from the representationproject.org, claiming La-Di-Da is a line of vapid and shallow girls, even referring to the candy-themed collection as objectifying, as if a cool, spunky teenage girl should be on display for consumption at the New York City candy store. According to the article, the line is a poor representation of girls, and the booklets the dolls included lacked any depth of character. In fall of 2013, most La-Di-Da dolls were put on clearance and can still be found in stock on some websites for less than retail value. The line has a distinctive and vibrant branding, and each doll dressed in campy costumes and over-the-top designs. Sometime in March 2014, images leaked of unreleased La-Di-Da doll collections, one being circus-themed and another of a new character, but no information was ever found on these unreleased dolls. Additionally, more unreleased La-Di-Da dolls surfaced in 2015 after designer Jamie Tract posted images of the prototypes she'd worked on, such as the sample for Dee and her best friend in their everyday schoolgirl uniforms inspired by Gossip Girls, and a prototype of Dee in an elaborate powder blue gown that Jamie says was designed for ice skating in New York. If you enjoyed today's video, you'll love the blast of nostalgia in my top 10 toys video, discussing the rise and fall of 10 toy lines throughout the ages. Coming soon. You can check my other videos out in the description below. Be sure to click thumbs up, turn on notifications, and hit subscribe so you never miss the tea on the toys you love. As always, thanks for watching. See ya!